Yeah, come on in. Hi, folks. So today you'll see you have a cranium and a mandible sitting in front of you at your station.
These students are learning how bones 1,400 years old can speak when words are lost.
And we'll talk a little bit about how we actually determine the sex of an individual and the age at death.
Vanderbilt professor Tiffiny Tung is unraveling the mysteries surrounding the Wari Empire, the first empire in South America.
So if you think of the skeleton as a bony diary that you can sort of read to reconstruct somebody's life, that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
It's an ancient CSI of sorts, and the conclusion, Tung and her students are finding that violence was apparently a major part of life for the Wari people.
So I see lots of trauma on the skulls. I see injuries on some of the arm bones that come from trying to protect yourself from an oncoming blow.
During her 16 years of study, Tung discovered this society was filled with apparent atrocities.
We uncovered 31 isolated human skulls, and then my studies of the trophy had shown that this was in fact a practice that the Wari did as a way to subjugate other communities and in fact to kind of terrorize other communities.
The pieces of that puzzle come to life during trips to Peru. Several students spend the summer in Ayacucho, central Peru, in the Andes Mountains of South America.
It was interesting to see the levels of violence back then, just because things like cut marks on ribs and cut marks on different parts of the body, you'd find them when you're sorting through all of these bones.
For senior Sebastian Rogers, the trip to Peru was a chance to combine his love for shooting video with his interest in anthropology.
These were at some point, real living people with their hopes and their dreams.
These students are critical to the research effort because of the massive size of the work to be done. There are thousands of bones to be sorted, logged, identified, and examined.
So I'm excavating tombs with my students, and we very carefully extract all of the human skeletal remains, and then typically the following summer I'll go back and start analysis of those human remains. And that's when I also bring a lot of students down, and they work with me in laying out the skeletons on the lab tables and then collecting all of the data.
What are you working on today, Rachel?
Recent Vanderbilt graduate Rachel Witt has spent several summers in Peru piecing together the puzzle of ancient lives.
We had the opportunity to really exercise the skills we learned and see how we can apply what we learned in class to identifying skeletal remains and aging and sexing individuals.
For Rachel, it's not only about the past.
I'd never been out of the country before, so it was a little overwhelming at first. So I came back really feeling like Peru was just a wonderful place to be.
From today's Peru to a culture long gone, it's a place of discovery.
There's so much in the past that you can learn from.
By looking back, these students have learned to look forward. For ViewCast, I'm Barb Kramer.